Hey guys, so I've got a little bit of work to do here. If you can see down there, the front end of my bike. Got a few things that I want to get done. I want to take off the brake calipers here. I'm going to clean them up and paint them. I also want to get the front wheel off and polish the ends of the forks. And I also need to repaint the black part of the brake discs there, so all in all it'll take a little while because you have to take the whole front end off it here, but okay, so I need to take off the brake calipers. These are the calipers, in case you don't know. So that means removing this line here from the caliper itself. Now ideally, lines run up to the master cylinder and up to the reservoir. Ideally I should be draining the whole system down and just emptying the whole lot and then refill it. But to keep the air out of the system you really need a brake bleed device. It's only a bottle with a hose that fits the attachment there, a little bleed valve, but I actually don't have anything to fit it there at the moment. So what I'm just going to do, I suppose I'll have people saying you definitely shouldn't do this, you'll damage your lines, but if you can go into any garage in the world for bikes or cars and tell me that the guys servicing are taking off brake calipers don't pinch the brake lines like this, well then I'd be very surprised. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pinch off the brake line, which will stop the brake. Okay, so I have the first calipers off and the brake line pinched off on it. This is the second one. As you can see, I've just used, on the first one I have an actual brake vice grips which has flat ends. This is just a standard vice grips, so I've put a cloth on it here to protect the hose. And now I just need to get this attachment off. really see it. There we go. Now I need to just undo this line. And as you can see, there's no fluid leaking out from there, so that's all good. So I can take these calipers apart, clean them up and get them ready for paint. There will be brake fluid inside these, and that's why I have the cloth here, and you should actually try to avoid getting it on your hands because it's not good for skin. But anyway, we can hang it up there and let them dry now. And we can also take all that apart. Before I take the last few screws apart, the actual brand name Tokicho on the top here is a little bit crappy, and I'm going to tape that off and leave it polished. So I'm just going to give that a little rub while it's still all fixed up. And there we have two halves of a brake calipers. Looking pretty good in there. Yeah. So now we need to take off the nipple, just clean them all up and get ready to prime them. Okay, so I've got the brake discs off. As you can see, they're pretty chipped and crappy looking, so I'm just going to give them a lick of some hardware and black paint, and that should do the job. I won't bother showing you me painting them, I'll just give them a lick and then show you when they're finished. Okay, the story so far is the calipers have been cleaned, primed, and we're waiting for them to dry before we can give them their proper coat of red. I'm going to paint them. In case anybody's moaning, the all the inlets and outlets have been plugged with some cotton wool. I'll get that back out then when these are dry. All the parts are there waiting to go back together. The rims, or should I say the discs, have been given their first coat of hardware and black paint. Let's wait to dry there. And that gives me time to turn my attention to the forks. Now, when they made these, any of you that know the GSX know that they put a coat of crappy lacquer on all the unfinished metal surfaces on this bike, and what happens is the salt on the roads then eats into the lacquer and makes it look absolutely cruddy. So bit by bit I've been removing the lacquer and polishing them up like this, as opposed to crappy like this. So I'm gonna, while I have the wheel off and everything, I'm gonna give these a rub of sandpaper, then polish them up.